So today let's talk about debt and what does it mean to have money as debt, to have a monetary system that is based on debt. Well, let's start with the opposite, a society that is not based on debt. Let's say that you want to construct a building. Well, you would need to trade someone for metal and for cement, let's say. Let's say you have 10 kilos of gold, you exchange them for these materials. You exchange gold for labor, someone builds and constructs that house or that building for you. A system where there is no debt is a system where a person can only consume from his own saving. And if he does not have saving, he first needs to create saving, work, do something for someone, and then he can consume. That is the only way you can consume in a non-debt system. So let's even simplify it further. Let's say that you and I are on an island and you are such a great swimmer, we make the decision that you go and get some fish and I will cook them. Once you go to find fish, you have just created debt, all right? Until the time I serve you the dinner, I'm at your debt. You are dependent on me doing something in order for you to receive what you deserve by doing work. So debt is merely two people agreeing on some future benefit. Debt is trust. That's really all it is people trusting each other and giving up resources that are available today for some future, not current, but future return, future benefit. A society that has debt is a very developed society. It's a society where there is trust. And today we have global trust, such that people from other countries can do business with one another. Debt is an amazing thing. It allows all that we have. However, let's distinguish between money and debt. Now, what is money? Money is anything that you can consume immediately. Rice or any other type of food is money. You can consume it immediately. Clothing is another example of money. You can warm yourself. Gasoline, without a doubt, a type of money. Gold is a type of money. You can immediately make a jewelry out of it. You can immediately use whatever property it has as a metal. So anything that has immediate availability for consumption is money. Now, not all money are equal. Good money have some attributes that we all know. It has to be durable, fungible, immutable. It has to be scarce. It should be a unit of account such that everyone thinks in terms of that thing, which means it is widely acceptable, and many other things. So not all money are equal, but anything that can be consumed immediately is money. Book is money. You can read it immediately. Now, debt, on the other hand, is anything in which you are dependent on a third party to do something in order for what you have to have value. All right? So if you own gold, you have money. If you own a stock of a miner that is traded on an exchange, that is debt. You are dependent on that CEO, on these employees, the economic environment, such that if that company goes bankrupt, the resources that company had still exist, but you own nothing. You've lost your funds, you've lost your money. So debt is wonderful. Debt means that there is trust. In today's world, we have a lack of trust, and I think that this is going to get worse in time. And the point I'm making here is that you do not want to own any type of debt. You do not want to have any assets which are really debt. You're depending on other people to do something, because I think that if there is no trust, many of the contracts, which again these are debt. Debt is a contract, and it is denoted by currency. So in our example of the island, we might denote me owing you cooking your meal with, let's say, shells. All right? We both understand that these shells have no intrinsic value. We cannot consume them immediately. However, they denote the fact that I owe you something. Currency is simply how we denote debt. We always want to have currency in our system, the ability to create debt out of thin air simply by two people agreeing. So let me end by saying this. All wars throughout our history, all right, all the clashes of all ideologies, all sum up to one thing: how currency is created. Who gets to create debt? Who gets to say what has credit, what gets billed, and what doesn't? It all sums up with communism, socialism, Nazism. All of these are simply a manifestation of this simple fact. All right? Who makes the choice of what to produce? Is it bureaucrats? Is it a certain race? Is it the king? Is it through voting? Or is it simply through voluntary exchange between free people? To conclude, if I do not have anything, I want to live in a society where only an idea can serve me, such that I can go to people who do have resources like metals and cement and convince them that I will find people to construct a building with their resources, such that I will own some part of it and then will earn another part. And they'll be able to have offices and so on. We want to live in a system in which ideas, simply ideas, and free people cooperating one another and convincing one another that it's a good future to go to, they should be able to create that out of thin air. Banks are supposed to be businesses like any other business. Bakery, clothing stores, banks. And they can all go bankrupt. None of them should be in the hand of the government. Banks should go bankrupt when they create currency that is not backed by good decisions. So we want to live in a society where we have debt. Debt is trust. You do not want to hold debt today in any form whatsoever, not in a currency form, not in a contract form, not in a stock form, not in a future form. Any debt, anything that is dependent on other people's actions will suffer in the future because trust is lacking. And that's what I have here for you today. Till next time.